Good afternoon and welcome everyone to another segment of this webinar, Be Internet Awesome for Webinar 1, Cohort 3. And I have with me Ms. 𝗕𝗲 𝗜𝗁. She is the CEO, founder of Mahattattva, and she is going to be hand-holding you through this journey for the next two webinars. And also she is going to be taking the office hours and the follow-up sessions, so that if you have any questions even after this webinar, your questions are catered to. I welcome you wholeheartedly to take this journey forward. Over to you, Ms. 𝗓𝗓.
Thank you so much, Kajal. Thank you. So good evening, rather good afternoon, everyone. And it's so good to see you all here active on YouTube. We have been doing this program now. This is the third cohort. And the program, as it has been advertised, and now a lot of people are calling us up and saying, when we are interested to do this, and we are going slowly and gradually because we want the teachers to be empowered with the program, with the curriculum before we take it to the children. So like Kajal said just now, we are going to do this in phases. Right now, I'm starting cohort 3. We've already had 2 successful cohorts where people are now working with the children, and some of them have also finished their certification, and we have been sharing that on our social media. So the session today consists of 2 webinars. I will be talking to you today and subsequently a day after. And we will be working on the curriculum. Basically, I will walk you through the resources that we have curated for you. Everything is there on a Google site, and we have created, whatever you could think of to implement the program, we have put it on a Google site so that it's just plain easy for all of you to go into your classroom and empower the children with cybersecurity rules. So I'm going to share my screen. Pooja, if you can help me with that, please. If you could start sharing my screen. Are you doing that, Pooja? Are you sharing my screen? Yeah, thank you so much. So as you are all aware, the program is called Be Internet Awesome, and this has been brought to you by CBSE and Google. This is absolutely international standard. It is endorsed by ISTE, which is the International Society for Technology in Education. Now, when partners get together and ensure that the vision of security, cyber security for our children is in place, it's always a pleasure to interact with people who are here today to take this forward. And for a little bit of an introduction to us, that is Mahattattva, and we are the Google for Education partners, and we will be implementing and supporting this program for all of you. Now, this is a webinar that, like I said, consists of 2 parts, but there is ample support for you to take this forward. So that there's me, 𝗕𝗲 𝗜𝗁, who will be conducting the webinars. Apart from this, there is a huge back-end team. There's Manu, who will be there in the follow-up sessions. She will be also there in the office hours in the evening on some days. There is Pramukda. So why I'm introducing you to this team is for you to know that there is a lot of support available for you, and whenever you write an email or you call up, there will be one of these people behind the screens who will pick up the phone or write an email back to you. So you should know who these people are. And for me, they are my biggest support and my backbone. Without them, I couldn't have been doing what I'm doing at such a large scale. So Pramukda will also be your support team. We have Ashima. She's a ex-principal, very accomplished, has been doing Google trainings for the Delhi government project and Pan India. We have Sonali, who will absolutely be very charming and a fantastic resource for you. We also have Kajal. You just met her right now. She introduced me. Kajal is a multifaceted, very, very technically oriented person and a problem solver. So if you have a problem, she's already got the solution for you. And then, of course, our strongest, hand at the back is Pooja, who looks after all the data and the data handling and gives us all these analysis of what's happening with the training. So you can see that there is a huge team at the back who will be supporting you, who will be there with you. You just have to take that step of creating these little internauts in your classroom, and we will be there to support you. So this is a course wherein you will be getting a certification. My only submission to you is that please understand how this certification will happen. So, like in a lot of webinars and workshops which have been happening online, you attend a workshop or you attend a webinar and you get a certificate. This is not one of those. This is a webinar wherein you will learn about cybersecurity. We will give you the resources. You will go and implement this in your classroom. And after the children have been certified is when you get your certificate, right? So how does it work? So the first step is that you have to attend 2 webinars. So one webinar today and a subsequent one. All those who are registered and will be filling up the feedback form today, you will get the notification for the second webinar as well. Please also remember that we are doing 3 circles of 4 or 5 webinars each. So if you've missed this one or you couldn't attend the second one, please make sure that you attend any other. On the CBSE circular, you have all the dates and you have the the registration form, so you can fill that up in case you've missed any. I would suggest that you go ahead with this one and the subsequent one, which is happening in a couple of days, and finish up your webinar. So you have to do 2 webinars. The question answer session, of course, is optional. If you have a question or if you have a query as to, how many children, my children are not working, how do I use this resource, any kind of question. So this format that we are having on YouTube is a one way. So I'm speaking and you all are listening because we are going through a large number of audience right now. But the follow-up session, the subsequent Q&A sessions are all on Google Meet. So Google Meet means you can come on, you can switch on your mic, you can ask your questions. So we are looking at a one-to-one connect with you as well. So if you think that you need to connect with us, talk to us, please do come into the Q&A session. So you have to attend 2 webinars, and if you want, you can attend a Q&A session. So that's the first step. The second step is that you read the resources which have been given to you. And as I speak, Kajal and Pooja, who are working on the YouTube link right now, will be pasting the link of the website where we have put all the resources for you. So if you are on a device which can open up to tabs, I would request you to go on to that website and look at the resources. Once you have seen those resources, we would urge you to create a program for your children. So look at all the resources there, create a program for yourself, and you have to get at least 100 students registered in your program to be able to certify them. Now, a lot of the schools also say that, where are we going to get 100 children from? We are 50 teachers in a school, and, if we need 5,000 children to be able to do that. My submission to you is, yes, look at the children in your school, but also look at schools near you which are not running this program. There are some schools who do not have the resources. They don't have connectivity. So if you can go out of the school, that would be fantastic. The main objective of this program is to make sure that each child in India is actually empowered for cyber safety. So if you can empower your own school and maybe two schools which do not have the resources, that will be superb. So I'm going to repeat the steps. Attend the two webinars, read the resources which are there on the Google site, use the resources and create your program and implement it for 100 students. Once you have trained the children and got them to be aware of what this program is, you have to create a 2-minute video with your evidences. So it could be an assembly, it could be, a principal who talks about how you have implemented the program. It could be a parent who's saying, thank you, my children and I didn't know about this and you got us absolutely charged. So it can be that. So we are looking at 100 names of students whom you have empowered and a 2-minute video as evidence. Once you've done this, there is a link on the Google site and I'm going to show you all of that. You just have to click on that form and fill this up for us. So a 2-minute video, names of 100 students, and you're good to go. So that will lead to your certification. So I'm repeating, there is no certificate for just attending the webinar. You have to go out and work with your children and empower 100 of them, make a 2-minute video, and that's when you get your certification. I hope that is clear. There is a chat box. If you think that you need to ask more questions, please go ahead and do that. So as you see here, we have an internet, Be Internet Awesome website, which has been created just for this program. And I'm going to take you there in a bit. There is a proper dedicated email ID, that is BIA. BIA is the short form of Be Internet Awesome Support, BIA support at mahattattva.in. So you can write in your questions there. Also on the Google site, there is a link, a Google Meet link. We have the daily office hours, that is from 5 to 6 p.m. You can come in, click on that Meet link, and there will be somebody sitting there to actually answer your questions. So that is Monday to Friday, 5 to 6. And I will show you where that link is. We also have put you in Google groups. So if you have registered, your official ID that you have registered with will have this notification in it where we've told you this is the Google group, this is the Telegram group that you must attend. And as I speak, Kajal will also put the YouTube playlist that we have for all the webinars that we are having. So make sure that you have that playlist with you in case you want to see these videos again. So after explaining to you the entire what this program is, what it entails, and how are you going to get your certification, I'm going to take you to the website. So this is the website, and if you have your computers, your laptops, or your desktops in front of you, you can go and open up 2 tabs like I have done, and the website will open up. So on the first page is about the program. What does this program actually mean? What does it entail? So it is about preparing your students to become, empowered with digital citizenship and safety so that they can explore the online world with confidence. So once you understand what these little nitty-gritties are, you can implement it with the children, get them empowered, and get your certification. So I have already spoken about the facilitators and the people who will be supporting you, but we also have links to the YouTube channel here, to the Google groups that we run for our trainings, and also the Facebook group which are there for all the Google trainings that we do. So you can join these and be part of the journey. Even if Be Internet Awesome finishes, there are so many Google trainings that keep happening, and I think your colleagues are doing a wonderful job on the certification for Be Internet Awesome. So you can go and click on that and take inspiration from the people who have already finished with the certification. So that is right on top of the facilitators page. I'm moving on to the schedule now. In the schedule, you will be able to see, like today is the 3rd, you will be able to see the webinar is happening today, and at 5 o'clock is the office hours. And you will be able to see subsequently what is happening in the Be Internet Awesome program. We are doing this entire program in 3 formats. So one format is what I'm doing right now, the webinars, which is one way, along with the two-way communication which happens when you come into the Q&A sessions. So we are doing it in a dual mode. The second engagement that we are going to do with you is for the computer teachers, the technology integration teachers, and the IT teachers, which we will be doing as master trainers. So we will be creating master trainers in your own ecosystem, so that if you need support, you can go out and reach out to these people. And then finally, the third format that we're going to do is physical training. So you can see here on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'm going to be in Ajmer for a physical training. So people who live near Ajmer can come on to Mayo College. That is where we are having the first physical training. And you can attend, you can meet us, you can attend the sessions, and you can also personally ask questions on the implementation. So we make sure that all facets are cleared. I am in Guwahati on 16th, 17th, and 18th, and then going on to Agra, which is in the Army School Agra, that is 1st and 2nd. So we have you covered. So we have the online sessions, completely online sessions, which are happening now, along with the Meet segment where you can ask your questions. We have the second intervention, which is for the computer teachers, and for making sure that you have some expertise in your own schools as master trainers who can support you with this program. And the third one is physical, where we are coming to a select cities. So we have linked it to your COEs, and we will be coming there to meet you personally. So these are the 3 formats that we're doing, but you just have to do 2 webinars. So if you do one today and another one, you are done. You could start with your program in school and get your certification. So that's your schedule. This is the most important facet of this entire website, which is the resources. So Be Internet Awesome is a complete website on its own. So if you click on this, you will go on the Be Internet Awesome website, where you can see all the resources that are there. Now, not all these resources are something that you will be needing. So we have taken a few things from there, and we have put them in this site so that you can just look at those sites and complete your program. Then we have the complete curriculum. So if I open this, you will see that the complete 139 pages of the entire 5 units program is there for you to implement. So it's there as a PDF, wherein you can see the complete curriculum here by clicking on this. In Unit 1, which is Share with Care, and I will be talking about these units one by one, you will see that there is a PDF for just Unit 1 here. Then there is an interactive slide deck. So if you want to use technology resources with your children, you just have to click on this, and you will see that all the resources that you need by the unit are here. So these are all links for the units which can be used in the classroom. Now, some of you have technology resources in your classes, some of you don't. So these resources are there for you to use as you want. So what you could do is you could read them yourself, and you could get them started with the children, and get them to make flashcards or get the children to see them on a drive, like in the share them with the children, or you could put them as PDFs where the children can actually read them, see them, and get used to them. So we have one of the teachers who thought that, how do I flip the classroom for the children? So he took notes from all these units which are there, and he created a PDF for his children, and he flipped his classroom. So for his certification, that's Aditya from Jalandhar, what he did was he looked at the resources, created a WhatsApp group of 137 children, and he put them on a WhatsApp group, and he would share these PDFs with the children for them to read, and at school he would assess them. So he was the first person who cleared his BIA masters, his ambassador program, and he is actually in the lead and doing very well now, and we are going to make him into a master trainer. So all those people who are front runners and have been proactive, we make sure that they are in the system supporting the others who are not finding time, or they think that they need a little bit of support or resources. So we will make sure that the people who are doing this program are made into ambassadors, are made into master trainers, so that you all feel that you are surrounded by these people who can support you. So this is the site where the resources are kept, and I've given you an example of what a particular teacher has done with these resources. There is also a vocabulary unit if you want to use this. So what you need to do for this is you click on the link and say use content, and your vocabulary editor opens up. Now in this you can gamify your vocabulary words that the children want and the children need to do in order to understand a particular unit. So you can see here a copy of Be Internet Awesome has opened up. The original slides has given me a copy, so I can work on this the way I want. And you can see that whatever there is there in Care with Share, that's unit number 1. My term is there and my definition is there. So it's totally editable. You can change these terms and you can change these definitions as well. And once this is set, you can go and say play flashcard factory. So once you do that, it divides the children into the night shift and the day shift children. So whoever comes online, the children come in and you say, I'm ready to go. So the children join in, and you will see that the children's names randomly will appear in the day shift or the night shift, and you will be able to shuffle the teams if you want, and you then click on Let's Play. Once you do that, children will be working on code, repetition, personal information, online privacy. These are the cards that they have been given, and so on and so forth, the 14 words that were given to them, and they will create it and they will put it on this the conveyor belt, which you can see at the bottom. The flashcards will keep falling down, and once they are done, you will go into quality control and you will be able to see the flashcards, and you will be able to see that right now there are no flashcards created because nobody's on it, but you will be able to see that yes, this card is either right or it's wrong. So you will be able to check them, and then you go on to shipping, wherein the points of the children will come in and all the flashcards will go away. So this is like a game of vocabulary which the children can play in your classrooms, in your ICT rooms. When they go to the computer lab, they will be able to play this, and this takes very little bandwidth, so you will not have problems in executing this. So this is about the vocabulary, which is just lying here on the website by the unit. So this is unit 1 that I'm talking about. And finally, this unit is linked to an online game which is called Play Interland. And these characters here, like I said, are called internauts, like the astronauts. So they So whatever unit that your children are doing right now, there is a game that they play after. And when they play that game, there is no login, nothing required. They just need to go and play. And if they get the options right, so it is not only about cybersecurity, it's also about decision making, mindful thinking, problem solving. So all that comes into this gamification, which is called Interland. And the children play this, and you will be able to guess and substantiate that the children have understood this unit. So you can use this for assessment after you've done the unit with the children. And when they come towards the end of it and they accomplish the game, they will be given a certificate to edit, so they can actually write their name and save that certificate or print it. If you have a printer in the school, you can get printouts for them. My advice would be to save them and give it to the parents by mail. Let's save some paper here. So we will be able to do this for all the units. You can see unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, there is a game, and unit 4. Unit 5 doesn't have Interland game, but there are lots of assessments on the assessment page which you can use, and you can get the children to do, and I'll be coming to that in a minute. What we also have here at the bottom is the Internet Awesome Pledge. You can use this for your assemblies. You can use them in your on your classroom boards, so that the children actually take this pledge, and you can also get them to sign it. So you can have one large A3 sheet on your class board, and you can have all the children sign around it, and some of them at the bottom there. So there is a beautiful pledge which can be used in your assemblies and in your classrooms, and also use as a reminder for the children as to what are these 5 units and what are we talking about in the cybersecurity. So this is about the resources, all here in the resources tab. I'm moving on to assessments. Now, like I told you, the Interland game has 4 units, and you can assess the children on them. What we've also done is we have created assessments for you for all the units. So if I click on the first unit, it's a Google form, and it will tell you to make a copy, because we've shared it with so many people. You all will need to make your own copy before you go ahead. So you click on make a copy, and this comes on, and you see that this is completely editable for you. So you can change if you think that your children are smaller, if you think that you need to add more. So this curriculum actually says that it is made for grade 2 to grade 6, but in the Indian context and with appropriate examples, you can take it up till grade 12. Now, what some of the schools have already done, we did a pilot before we started with you all, and some of you here would know it. We did a pilot with Delhi East, Delhi West, and Noida, and they trained children up till grade 12. And what they also did was, in grade 10th, 11th, 12th, they trained the children, and those children impart the children in the younger, smaller classes. So you can do that as well. Use the children as a resource, because I think the smartest way to learn is to teach a topic. And if you think that the older children need to be given a leadership opportunity, this is absolutely a wonderful platform for student-led learning, and you can implement that in your classroom as well. So back to the Google form, wherein you have editable Google Forms. And for those of you who know what Google Forms are, fantastic. For all those who don't, Google Form is a tool by Google wherein you can collect information for statistics, for your own analysis, or like we said, for your assessments, like we are doing right now. This complete test is for 10 marks. So how do you share this with children? So once you have come onto here, you see that there is this purple button here on the right hand side. I'm going to click on it. I can send it by email by writing the email. I can send a link if I want. I can shorten the URL as well, and I can share this link with the parents and they can get the children to do this on their phones. You can also share it on the computer lab computers where the children can go on and do it. So this is about sharing using the link. If you have a Google site or a website in the school, and if you want to embed it, put it into the website, you can use the embed code by using the embedded HTML code which is given here. You can also put it on Facebook or Twitter, but I think most of the schools do not allow that. So a good idea would be either sending it by email or creating a link and sending it to the children. So that is what Aditya did as well. He actually created the link and put it in his WhatsApp group, and the children could go on from that. So if I have to see what this looks like for the children, I'm going to click on this, and this is what the children will see. So the questions will come up and they have to answer. Each question is for 1 mark. Once the children have responded, you will go on to the responses here and you will be able to see what the children have turned in. Now here there is a small green button which opens up a spreadsheet. If I open that and say I want to create a new spreadsheet for the responses which have been given by the children. So you will see the email address of the children, the time that they submitted, what score did they get, what was their full name, and all the questions that you asked, and most importantly, the score of the children. So if you can see how much the this child knows, you will be able to assess by using these forms. So this is how you will use the assessment forms which are kept here in assessments, and there are all 5 of them for the 5 units that we are talking about. At the bottom here is the certificate completion form. That is for you. So these are for children, for you to use when you are doing the units, and this is for you to complete your student training. So I'll click on this and I'll show you what it has. So it has your full name like you would like it in the certificate. There's the name of the school, your state, your COE, which center of excellence do you belong to, your contact number, personal ID, and CBSE email ID. Now these details are for just in case we want to contact you for any information. We would need these details. None of these details are going to go out. They are with Mahattattva and we will safeguard them. So this is what you need to fill in. And the 2 important things that I spoke to you about when you are doing the trainings, please create a 2-minute video and share that with us as evidence. And we need the names of the 100 children who will be awarded the certificate just as you would be. So you need a template for that. That template is here at the bottom. So if I click on it, it will ask me to make a copy. I will create a copy. And I'll put in the names of the children that I have trained, the classes, and you can see it is asking for 100. Today only we've got an entry from Usha, and she has done 216 students. So that's like a big, yay for us that there is a teacher out there who did not care about numbers. She has done 200, double of what she was asked for. So this is what you will fill in. And after you've filled in, you have to add it, upload it here, and then click on submit. So 2 things we are asking you for: the evidence of the 2-minute video, evidence of the children doing their trainings, parent feedback, student feedback. You can have your principal feedback as to how the program is running. And then finally, you need a list of students to be able to, for us to be able to give them the certificates. So this is about the assessments. I'm going back here. The last tab here on the website is FAQs and help desk. So let me show you what that is. It has on the first front most area, what it has is the steps which are required for you to become a BIA ambassador. How do you become a BIA ambassador? A teacher who will go on training children on cybersecurity. So the 2 webinars, read the resources, prepare for the student engagement, use the resources for 100 students training, create a 2-minute video, upload the application in the assessment space, which is right here. So you have to fill that up. That's your last step. And once we receive that and we authenticate that this is the right video and the list of the children, we will be able to give you that certificate that you are working so hard for. Now, another word of caution that 2 or 3 people, what they did was when they uploaded a video, they've just uploaded some random video from the class, and they've uploaded some 100 names of a test that they did, maybe an annual exam or something. Please understand that we have loads and loads of people who are working. I got you to meet some of them on the deck. So we will be checking each and every entry which comes back. Just because you have something uploaded in the video and you have some random list that you have uploaded does not entail that you will get a certificate. It will be validated. We will look at your videos, and a lot of your videos, almost all of them, will come on social media for people to see. So make sure that they are beautiful representation of what you are creating in your classroom. So that's your first step. Then these are the samples. Some of the people have already started getting these and they are sharing it in social media. We have the teacher certificate and we have the student certificate right in front of you. So this is what you are going to get, and this is what the students are going to get once you train them. There are a few questions like, why do we need to do this program? Who's the certifying body? So all these questions which you think you may still have after my webinar, these questions, FAQs, are here typed in for you during the certification. How do I, implement this? So how do I make sure that this happens? We've also spoken about the interlink games, how you can assess them. Then after or during the certification, how will you finally get your certificate? So all those queries that you might have are there in the FAQs. We also have a help desk, which is, I gave you the email ID, that is biasupport@mahattattva.in. We also have a number which is given to you. So you can call up between 3:30 to 5:30 from Monday to Friday, and we will answer your queries. What we also have is a Google form. So if you think that, it's late in the night and you still want to ask something, you can leave your question here, and we have a ticketing system for this in place, and we will be resolving all the questions that you ask here within 24 hours. And like I said, finally, this is the meet where you can come again 5 to 6 o'clock Monday to Friday. If I click on this, you will see that this is a meet link. You can come into this meet link, and there are mics and cameras, and you can open these up. You can talk to me. You can ask all that you want. That is every day between 5 to 6, Monday to Friday. This will be open and you can come and ask your queries. So this is a live meet link which you can open up for that 1 hour, and you can come and talk to me. So this was about the website. And I'm going back to our deck now. There is another thing that I need to explain to you, and why? Because most of these resources that you're going to be using are on Google Slides, and they use Peer Deck. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how do you get Peer Deck on Google Slides. I do understand that some of you will already know this, but those who don't, please do have a look. So I'm just going to open up a new tab, and you can see that I'm on my Google Chrome. I can see that with my login here. And if you see here, you can check that I'm logged in. My Mahattattva.in ID is actually a Google ID. So I'm logged into that. And just next to my profile are these 9 dots, which are called the Google Apps grid. So if I click on this, I will be able to go on the slides. Now in the slides, I can open up any blank slide for you to see what this amazing tool is. What I'm really interested is, because all the resources which are made by the BIA people are on Google Slides, so you should know a little working knowledge of this. And when you start using their decks, you will realize that they are using Peer Deck for making the entire presentation interactive for the children. So what you need to do is you need to understand that this is the deck that you are working at. This is how it looks like. You have the file, you have your name, edit, undo. So all these kind of things are, if you are used to presentation, if you are used to Google Slides, fantastic. If you have Microsoft PowerPoint, these are quite similar, the tabs. One thing which makes this entire Google slide absolutely interactive is this here, which is the add-on. So if I click on the add-on here, you will see that there is a tab here which says get add-on. So you just need to check here. There is one particular add-on that all the resources are using, and it's called the Peer Deck. So you will be taken, I'm going to do this again. Go on add-on and click on get add-ons. And here I'm going to search for Peer Deck. So you see here, this opens up. So I click on it. And here, for me, it says uninstall because I already have this installed. So for you, if you don't have Peer Deck, it will say install. Once you click on install, you will see that when you click on add-ons now, the Peer Deck will open up here. Now, all the activities that you need to do with the children have this, add-on already added to it. So make sure that you get yours if your computer or your laptop or your desktop doesn't have it. So you can get it the way I showed you. You can see that in the Rewind Google YouTube channel later if you want to see how you get your Peer Deck. Otherwise, you just YouTube it and it'll show you how to get the add-on. So once you have got it on and it's added onto your deck, you just click on it and say open Peer Deck add-on. And you will see on the right hand side, the Peer Deck will open up. Just one word of caution here, that when you are logged in to your Google Slides from here, just check which ID it is. Once you have checked that, make sure the first time you go on to Peer Deck, it will ask you to log in. So make sure that it's the same login ID as your Google. So when you have your Google ID and you have your Peer Deck ID and they both sync to each other, that is when all the resources will be able to talk to each other and work beautifully for interaction with the children. So this is something that you should keep in mind, that Google Slides and Peer Deck is something which is being used throughout the resources that are available for you. Talking now about the curriculum. We will be talking about the curriculum today and of course on the second day of the webinar. I have actually kept for the first day the entire ethos. What are we doing? How are we going to do it? Where are the resources available? How am I going to make myself pretty proficient about this entire thing before I show it to the children? So I've given you that background. Now we will explore the curriculum together. So like I said, the entire curriculum is split into 5 units. We will be talking about 3 units today and 2 units in the next webinar. So the first unit says share with care, and it talks about how do we ensure that we make the right decision when we are communicating online. How do we make sure that our digital footprint is actually which is positive? How do we do that? So it tells the children through lots of activities and some sort of strategies with with the teachers can use. You get that clear with the children. Don't fall for fake is the second unit, where you talk about phishing, catfishing, scams, and what are credible resources, what are resources which are not to be trusted. So all of that is there in the second unit. In the third unit, like I always say, is this is a favorite unit of people, because it talks about the different ways of doing passwords. How do you make sure that your password is very, very strong? How do you guess password? So the activities in this unit are really a lot of fun, and children really like those. It's cool to be kind. So how do you ensure that when people are being negative, like you have cyberbullying, how do you combat that, and how do you make it into positive behavior? And you will see that in these units it doesn't even touch upon the various aspects which need to go in depth, but very, very subtly and nicely it explains to the children from grade 2, and you can take it up till grade 12, how these things actually matter. So apart from being cyber safe, space in in your child's world, in today's world, how do you make sure that the children are safe out there? How do you ensure that with subtle small things you can make sure that the children are aware as to what we are talking about? And throughout the units, it also talks about the adult. So how will you ensure, as a responsible educator, that you are that adult, or a parent is that adult, where the child will go and ask if there is something objectionable online? Whom do they reach out to? So that is something that we need to uh, get through to the children. So the 5 units that I spoke about also talk about a certain keyword in each one of them. So the first one, where it talks about your digital presence, it talks about how, when even if you put a small message online, you're actually creating a digital footprint. So how do you make sure that you stay smart? How will you make sure that whatever is out there online about you is whom you actually are? How do you ensure that the children know that just because you are in front of your screen, you can just say or do whatever and get away with it? Because that really doesn't matter, and doesn't really people think that I'm sitting in front of a screen and I can say something and get away with it. You can't, because somewhere something is getting registered, and when the data comes through, it points towards you. So how do you make sure that you stay smart? How do you make sure that you stay alert? So this is about phishing again. How do you make sure that the children make that decision, that this is suspicious and this could be harmful? How do you make them look for these red flags? Then there is strong. Strong here is about how strong is your privacy. So how will you make sure that you safeguard it? What are the things that you can do so that strong connect is made? Then it talks about, in the fourth unit, it talks about being kind. So IRL, in real life, it talks about whatever you see online is something that can happen in real life as well. So your comments, your conversations, your content should needs to be positive. So how do you make sure that you are not superficially just kind, but you're actually kind? So in these units, a lot of empathy. How do you look at emotions? How do you look at kindness? All of that comes in, and it starts beautifully with real life examples in the activities, and it moves to the virtual world. So you can get the children to do these activities even when this program is over and you've got certified and you've got your children certified. These activities can stay in your school, in your curriculum forever. And finally, the unit 5 talks about being brave. How cyberbullying can be tackled, and how can like I said, a confident how can you be confident of this trusted adult whom you can talk to when you have this feeling that there is something which is not right? So how brave can you be to go out and talk about it? So smart, alert, strong, kind, and brave, these are the things that are going to come through in these 5 units, and the children will work around these 5 keywords for the various activities that they do. Now, very quickly, I know that you will be looking at the curriculum today on the website. I'm just going to show you the flow. So if you look at module 1, it says be internet smart, share with care. What does it mean? It gives you the essence first. What is this thing about? So thoughtfully considering what you share, with whom you share, your digital footprint, your consequences. So all of that comes through in the first bit of the introduction of the unit. Then what you have is the narration of what that unit is. There is a lesson overview which gives you the various lessons which are there. Then it gives you the themes, it gives you the goals. These are the most important things in any unit. And it would be really nice if you are doing these units with the children, if you can share these goals with them as well. So these are the 4 things that we need to do in this unit. And have you got it? So do you know how to call for an adult? Do you understand the potential impact of your digital footprint? How do you make sure that you are respecting the privacy of others, right? So these goals should be shared with the children, so that when you've done the various activities, they understand, yes, the goals are done and understood by me. I showed you the vocabulary flashcard that is available for you. The lesson flow is available for you, and I'm going to show that to you in a bit. There are lovely scenarios for you to actually enact in the class. And of course, right at the end of every unit is the interlin game. So this is something that you can do with the children, and you will see that unit 2 does the same thing. Right? And unit 3, be internet strong. This is about the password, how it goes in the same way. So if I take you to the resource here, if you can just come with me, along with me, and let's go to resources. And in the resources, if I go on to access the complete curriculum here, and it opens up this PDF for me, and I'm just going to increase the view so that you can see. Look at this. So these are your 5 keywords. This is the digital safety and citizenship curriculum. It covers everything, and it's most recently updated a year back. So you can see that there is an introduction. It tells you about the 5 units, and you can see the seal of alignment with 𝗕𝗲. So this is something which is universally recognized. So it has, so you can safely say that whatever curriculum you're running in your school is endorsed by Google, it's endorsed by 𝗕𝗲. So these are some very credible companies who are actually working towards student safety. So very easily you can see the 5 units split into the various lessons, and then it tells you how do you teach this curriculum. And this is what I have been talking about. You have the goals, you have the let's talk, you have the activity, and you have the takeaway. So the entire flow of each lesson will be like this. And it will tell you that this is for grades 2 to 6, for grades 2 to 3, for grades 4 to 6. But like I said, if you change the scenarios, you can take it up till grade 12. It also talks about media literacy. It will, in the lesson plan, it will say media literacy, where you can actually integrate media literacy into the program. And also the most important thing that the whole world is talking about right now, the SEL, the social emotional learning. So that is integrated in this, like kindness, decision making, empathy. So all of that is there as well. So if you look at this, there are lots of templates like the bingo, the word web, all of that is given to you right at the beginning, so you can use them as you will. And then you have the on page number 9, a beautiful thing, which is a letter to the parent. You can get the school to customize this and send it to the parents. If you are planning to do this program for classes 3 to 12, you can send this letter home that we are doing this in the school, and let the parents also get involved in the entire process of cyber security. Send this home, and this is where your session starts. So if I look at this page here, this is my unit 1. So like I told you, the lesson overview, the themes, the goals, we are not looking at standards because we don't teach to standards. We are just going to look at the strategies which are there, and just ignore this bit here. But it's good to know that it is endorsed by ISTE. And you can see the vocabulary starts here with the vocabulary words, and you can keep going, and it sets the goals for the children. There's a let's talk activity. It actually tells you when you are introducing this lesson, what should you talk about? What do you tell the children? What kind of discussions to have? What are the children going to say? If they say this, what are you going to say? So it actually takes you through the entire flow of what could happen in the classroom. It's beautifully written, very well resourced, and very well curated for you to do your strategies in the classroom. So let's make a secret, and how do you for the little ones, and how for the older ones you can relate it to how there are certain things that you don't tell your parents, and you somebody tells you a secret and you go and tell that out somewhere else. So like I said, all these activities start with me in my real world, and then slowly and gradually it takes you to the virtual world. So the children understand the context, that if it is not okay to tell a secret, like I'm here right now and I'm talking to somebody, and if somebody's told me something and somewhere in the cyberspace I put it there because it's not my secret, it's not right. So what are the decision making skills? What is that the children should learn? Empathize with their friends. So all of that is dealt with in this booklet, which is there for you to use. If you want, you can take a printout and annotate. If you want to save trees, just use the digital version of it. It's there in the Google site that we have shared with you. And make sure that these activities, as you go, are done with the children, and the children are empowered with the curriculum. So that's it from me for today. And we are going to be looking at these units, and I have marked some activities for you, and we will be talking about these activities because I know you teachers are very busy people. So in the second webinar, we will open up this booklet and we will go strategy by strategy for the 3 units, so that you can read along with me, skim through the subject, and then plan your activities for the children and for your certification. So with that, we come to